Hi, I'm Dee Gardner with Gardner Counseling Services. Today we're going to talk about where did you learn about relationships? How did you learn? How did you come about behaving the way you do in relationships? You see, that is a learned behavior. Your perceptions, your thoughts, your opinions, your judgments, your habits, your reactions didn't just come out of the blue. You do have your basic personality. However, the way you show up in relationships, you learn that. So let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to talk about relationships, but these are different types of relationships. You may behave one way in one relationship and another way in another relationship. And there's a reason. It's based on the dynamics. And it also has a lot to do with what the other person is bringing into the table as well, be it a supervisor, a friend, a romantic relationship, a partner, spouse, sibling, best friend, cousin. No matter what the relationship is, you have two people. You have person A, you have person B, and then you have the relationship itself. So, what does a relationship mean to you? What is the purpose of a relationship? Let's say romantic relationship or marriage or that type of partnership. What is the purpose? Every relationship has a purpose. You may have thought about what it is, you may have planned it, or maybe not. You may just be going on autopilot, just willy-nilly. Is it to fulfill loneliness? Is it for companionship? Is it for love? What is love? You know, is it for providing, for having a provider? Is it for resources to come together? What is the intention of relationships in your eyes? What do you think? Is it for guilt-free sex? Is it to feel like you're going to be able to have access to certain things anytime simply because of living under the same roof? Is it for stability? How about a label? Do you like a particular label of partner or girlfriend or boyfriend, or I have a long-term relationship or a marriage? Which, or wife or husband? Is it a label or a title that you like? Is it, being able to even wear a ring and say, hey, I've got this title? Is there an image? Is there a family image that's important to you? What is it? Where did all that come from? It came from your upbringing. It came from your past. Love, for example. What does love mean? Well, it depends. Now, you may have seen television and you've seen families say, I love you, and you've seen people demonstrate love. And, you've seen the person said they were going to leave, and then they go to the airport and then they embrace and they miss the plane and then they don't leave and they live happily ever after. Some of us have that fantasy in our head that type of thing, will happen. What is love? So that's where I'm going to start. Messages about love. Where did they come from? Where did your belief system around love come from? So let's unpack that a little. So let's think about what you saw demonstrated growing up, because these habits and these beliefs are caught and not taught. They are caught. It's based on what you experienced growing up, not just what someone told you. It's what you experienced. Were words consistent with actions? Did someone say, I love you? And then they did something that seems like it completely contradicted and you didn't understand that. Well, in that case, love means being inconsistent. Love means saying something, doing something else. Duplicity. Does love mean honesty or dishonesty? Does love mean commitment and loyalty? Or does love mean abandonment, infidelity, having a child outside of another child outside of the relationship? Does love mean affection, that we touch, that we hold hands? Or does love mean being separate, buying things, doing things, providing for things? Does love mean, okay, I go to work, you have a roof over your head, there's a roof over my head, I need to make sure that I take care of a certain person or my family, Or does love mean being taken care of? Someone where you can rely on. What does love mean? So I want you to take out a sheet of paper and I want you to think about this and jot this down. How did love show up in your family? It's based on actions. It's an action situation. Did each one of you did you see your parents have specific roles? Did you grow up in a single parent? Well, that other parent that wasn't there, it could be because of divorce, of a breakup. It could be because they left. It could even be because of death. Or perhaps they lived in the house, but they were gone all the time. They had to work out long distance, or they were at work, and when they came home, they were not emotionally available. There's a message of love that there. So if you grew up with one parent, love meant not having another adult in the house. That's what love looked like. Or love could mean visiting an absent parent every weekend. Love could mean being in the middle of a battle of two different parents, warring parents. Love could mean trying to figure out how to live in two different households with two different sets of rules. What did love mean in your family? Did love mean one person had a whole lot more control over the other, or did it seem like that? Did love mean unequal power? So think about that. On the other hand, there is the individuals as well. So I'm going to just call it mom or dad. There could be multiple parents, two sets of parents. So each one of them, as you were growing up, as you were developing, what were their traits? What were the traits of each one of them? All of this goes into building your belief system around love and relationships and how relationships should look. For example, were they dependable? Were your experience with this caregiver, this big adult person, you were really little, and then you had this huge person. By the way, when we're really little, it's our caregivers and our older siblings are like God. They are like God because we don't know. You don't know if you're a little baby. So when they tell you something, we believe it. Anyways, so does love, so let's think about a parent. Was that parent very, very affectionate with you? Now, let's say you had one parent that was very close to you and the other one was very distant, almost like an outsider. That's a message. Love meant has that horizontal relationship is supposed to be closer than that vertical relationship. That might be a message that you got. Or love meant being very, very emotional, very in touch with emotionals, crying, being happy, being passionate, or being very stoic and rigid and getting things done. Because you see, there tends to be a masculine and a feminine energy in the house, either a masculine or a feminine energy. And it could be the male or the female, the mother or the father, it doesn't matter. But one of them has more of an energy than the other. For example, the feminine energy would be the nurturer, the one that's connected with being vulnerable, the one that might cry, the one that might say, it'll be okay. That's very reassuring and validating, expressing feelings, perhaps affectionate. Those are all feminine type, very compliant. Those are feminine traits. The masculine traits would be the problem solvers, take care of things, get it done, figure things out, work it out, solutions, so make it happen, take care, provider. Let's fix it. Let's just fix it. If there's a question, there's got to be an answer. It's very logical. So sometimes we have mothers that are single parents that are forced to draw on that masculine side mostly, or you have fathers that are single parents and they are forced to develop that feminine side as well. We all have masculine and feminine traits inside of us, and we're supposed to have it in balance to where we can draw on one when we need it. It just depends on, you might lean more toward one versus the other, but it's just important to know that you've got both of these traits, and how are these impacting your relationships. As an adult now, you might realize that some of those traits aren't serving you. Because here's what happens. We will grow up and we will date or marry, I'll say one or both of our parents. Daughters might marry dad, sons might marry mom, or vice versa. And what that means is traits. You find the very traits that your parents have showing up in your life today as an adult over and over and over again. For example, if dad was distant or absent, we grow up and we start bonding and forming relationships with people that are distant or absent. If mom was very verbally emotional and angry or frustrated a lot or yelled a lot or complained a lot, you find yourself as an adult with someone the same way. It's kind of like the universe's way of repeating the past so that you can heal it. You ever heard of fear of abandonment? If you have a parent that was gone, it doesn't matter what. It could be physically gone or emotionally gone, or you are or intellectually gone. You all do not sit down and have a heart to heart and have conversations about things you're going through on a daily basis. As a child, you didn't have that person that you can be emotionally vulnerable with. So if you had a parent that was absent, you might grow up, and now as an adult, there's a fear of abandonment. So when you're with somebody, there's this gnawing sense they're going to go away. They're going to go away anyways. They're going to leave anyways. They're going to go away. Either they do or you do something to make that happen. Until you do the work, you might need to read about it. You might need to look at some of my videos or go to a psychotherapist and get professional help to help you stop this pattern. This video is to increase your awareness. This relationship series is to increase your awareness about what may have been going on. And so here's your assignment. Write a list of the characteristics that you saw in the relationships where you were growing up. Write a list of the traits that you saw in each of the adult caregivers that were involved. If someone was an adult and they were not involved, that means absent or distant or abandoning. Whether they meant it or not, or whether they had a choice or not, is irrelevant. Both sides are necessary to develop a balanced life and a balanced relationship. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell, the notification button so that you can be notified when I upload videos. Be sure to leave a comment. Feel free to leave your list as you comment on this video below. That will also help my videos. Comments and hit the like button if you like the video. These will all help the algorithm for YouTube to help my videos become more available to more people.